Tag team titles up for grabs. Every championship of SmackDown will be defended tonight. There's the bell. Here we go. Super kick! Hey, we got new champions. Oh my, that's a stick. What the hell? Randy, don't do it. Oh my God! Somebody check on Edge. Somebody check on Edge. Oh my goodness. No, don't do this again, no. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I guess I owe everybody an explanation. I can't do this.
Is that it? I think he's leaving. What does that mean?
Possibilities, but no, there's no possibilities. It is a certainty that after what I did to Edge, that Edge will never wrestle again. Now, I owe you an explanation. And I'm gonna give you one. And I don't know how to say it really, but let me start with a little story. Back in 1999, in the fall, October, I believe, WWE had a live event in St. Louis, which just so happens to be where I live. My father, Cowboy Bob Orton, took me downtown to the event to meet a couple WWE agents, Jack Lanza and Tony Gurria, because his son, that'd be me at 19 years old, wanted to break into the business. Now, we were backstage. You know who the one man was that came up to my father to show his respects? Edge. And then my father introduced me to Edge, and he said, "This is my boy, his name's Randy, and he's looking to break into the business." Do you know what Edge did? He looked at me with all the sincerity a man could have in his demeanor. He shook my hand. He thanked me. He said, "Good luck. Good luck, kid. Maybe, just maybe, if you play your cards right, one day you and I could work together in that ring." I'll never forget that. As a matter of fact, that motivated me, and I went from being insecure about my abilities in this ring to becoming confident and going on. And years later, a handful of years later, Edge and I were battling all over the world in main events of pay-per-views for the Intercontinental Championship, and we were stealing the show every damn night. And then a few years after that, Edge and I started our Rated RKO, and you know what we did? We became tag team champion. And just when things couldn't get any better, just when we were flying high as high can be, I got a little too close to the sun. I flew a little too high myself. I hit a brick wall. I hit a rough patch, to say the least of it. And I made some very poor life choices. And I dug a hole so deep, Beth, that I should have been buried in it. But you know why I wasn't? Because Edge reached down, grabbed me by the hand, and pulled me up out of that hole. He saved my life. He made me realize that there's more to life. There's love, there's children, there's having a family, starting a family. I was able to go to volleyball games, baseball games, go to my son's play, help them with their homework, teach them how to be men, teach my daughters how a man should treat a woman. And I was able to do that because Edge saved my life. What I did was I returned the favor and I saved his life. Edge thought that he was going to start competing on a regular basis, and I knew better. I knew that someone like me was going to make a name for themselves and put Edge in a wheelchair or possibly worse. And I wanted your two little daughters, Lyric and Ruby, to have their father. How are your daughters, by the way? Thanks to me, Edge is going to be able to be their father, but he's going to be able to go on hikes, ride bikes, take them to volleyball practice, softball practice. He's going to be able to be there for them because of me. And I did it because I love Edge, I love you, and I love your two little girls. Here's the sad truth. Everybody blames me for what I did to Edge. Everybody thinks it was my fault, but you know deep down in your heart, you know with every shred of your being that it's not my fault. It's your fault. You are an enabler. You enabled Edge. If he was a drug addict, you wouldn't supply him with drugs. If he was an alcoholic, you wouldn't mix him a drink and put one in his hand every night. Edge is a junkie. Edge is a junkie for the roar of the crowd. And you did nothing to stop it. You did nothing to help him. So I had to step in because I love him like a brother. And I had to do what I had to do to make sure that he could go on and be a father to Lyric and Ruby. And you know what? When I say that out loud, I realize something. I love Edge more than you ever could. Truth hurts, don't it?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we kick off SmackDown, Randy Orton certainly with a very one-sided approach to explaining to us why he attacked the Rated R superstar Edge 2 months ago at No Mercy. Orton promising the WWE Universe that Edge will never come back thanks to him. Well, we have a great show, ladies and gentlemen. We're live from Toronto tonight for SmackDown, and since we're in Toronto, we decided to have a very special guest come visit us. WWE Hall of Famer Trish Stratus will join us later tonight for some Stratusfaction on SmackDown. And as the Dusty Classic continues, tonight we'll move to the other side of the bracket after DIY advance. Tonight, Mustache Mountain will go one-on-one against Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch. That is our main event. SmackDown tonight. And we are back live on SmackDown on the Space. And here comes the SmackDown Women's Champion.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, the SmackDown Women's Champion, Shayna Baszler.
Shayna Baszler certainly has a huge challenge to conquer because Becky Lynch has already made her decision. And at WrestleMania, the man will challenge the Queen of Spades for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Who's going to walk out of Vegas to the SmackDown Women's title? We'll find out in less than 2 months at WrestleMania. In the meantime, tonight, Baszler has to keep her mind off of Becky Lynch and focus on her opponent.
From Anaheim, California, Candice LeRae.
Candice LeRae making her way out here, and what a huge opportunity this would be for Candice LeRae. I mean, we're still on the road to WrestleMania. Anything could happen between WrestleMania and now. Of course, Becky Lynch made her decision to go after the SmackDown Women's Championship. She, for the time, will be facing Shayna Baszler. But what if Candice LeRae gets a victory here? Could Candice LeRae get added to that match? Could LeRae get an opportunity at the SmackDown Women's Championship before WrestleMania comes around? There's the bell. Here we go. Baszler and LeRae here tonight. Caught on elbow tie up. The two locked up in the corner. The referee needs them to separate. And of course, Shayna Baszler does something like this. Now Baszler looking to capitalize here. Huge knee to the head of Candice LeRae. Now brings her down. And more repeated knees to Candice LeRae. And hold on a second. The man comes around. Oh, Becky Lynch coming to take a closer look at this match. And LeRae takes the opportunity of the distraction. And now Baszler trying to fight back. And Baszler certainly angry at Lynch for providing that distraction and perhaps trying to cost her this match against LeRae. But Shayna Baszler certainly a different type of breed. Those kicks there by Shayna Baszler. Baszler with the German suplex. Planting Candice LeRae. LeRae now on the ropes at the mercy of Shayna Baszler. So going to use the ropes to her advantage, pulling LeRae into them. And I don't think Becky Lynch actually expected to cost Shayna Baszler the match here tonight, but perhaps to cause a distraction that will remind Shayna Baszler, I'm still here and I'll be here on the road to WrestleMania to be a thorn on your side. As LeRae went for a cover there and Baszler kicks out. Baszler with the reversal. Hooks her in here. And the suplex. Shot there. LeRae in the corner and Baszler. Some bad intentions here. Flying that armbar, using the ropes to her advantage. She can't keep that on for way too long. Baszler though looking to capitalize now off the top rope. Looking to land down with a drop kick. And now Baszler, we've seen this before. Not once, but twice. That follows an overhead cover, hooks the leg, gets it up to LeRae. LeRae powers out at 2. And now Shayna going right after LeRae, kick to the plexus. These may be going somewhere. Yes, sir. The Kirifuda clutch. Kirifuda clutch is locked in, and Candice LeRae has no other option but to tap out.
Here is your winner, Shayna Baszler.
Well, Queen of Spades will certainly not let Becky Lynch dictate if she wins or loses matches. However, the man has let her know that she's not going anywhere. Well, still to come later tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we'll hear from Trish Stratus after a very surprising performance at the Royal Rumble where she was eliminated by Sasha Banks. Trish Stratus joins us live for some Stratusfaction later tonight. And of course, speaking of later tonight, the Dusty Classic will continue. We already know DIY moved on, but tonight, Mustache Mountain goes one-on-one against Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch in our main event, SmackDown tonight. And we're back live on SmackDown. Sami Zayn in the ring, ready for action. Sami Zayn angling for an opportunity at the Intercontinental Championship. We're still waiting on the decision For management here on Smackdown, whether Sami Zayn is going to get a shot at the Intercontinental Championship or not as this match goes underway. Sami Zayn going 1-on-1 against Cedric Alexander. And Zayn quickly planting Alexander on the apron. It is the hardest part of the race, so that's going to hurt. Sami now trying to remain in control as he sends this match back in the ring. Springboard, and he lands down across the back of Cedric Alexander. Sami certainly has a claim to an opportunity at the Intercontinental Championship. After all, Zayn defeated Shinsuke Nakamura just a couple of weeks ago here on Smackdown, and after that, he feels he's entitled to an opportunity. We can see why. He has to win the decision for management on when or if he's going to get this opportunity at the Intercontinental Championship. I feel we'll also have to hear from Shinsuke Nakamura on this topic. Because Nakamura, Intercontinental Champion, certainly not happy about losing to Sami Zayn. He would love an opportunity to prove Sami Zayn wrong. And Alexander dropping from position here. He lands that suplex on Sami Zayn. I don't know if it's a wise idea to start taunting the WWE Universe after you hit one move, but Cedric now has Sami Zayn down on the apron. He takes it to the ropes. He lands down with a beautiful set of drop kicks through the second rope, sending Sami into our now stable. Sami quickly bounces back. Cedric doesn't let Sami get any momentum here as he sends him against our table. Sami fights back with a knee to the gut of Cedric Alexander, sends him back into the ring. Sami now on the apron. Sami waiting for Cedric to get back to his feet. He lands down, drop kick, springboard, shoulders down. Is it enough? Will Cedric Alexander away here on Smackdown, and a kick out. What a shot by Alexander. Sami sidesteps, clothesline, down goes Cedric. Now Cedric, half and half suplex. Again, I'm not sure if it's a good idea to celebrate every time you hit a single move. Cedric now has Sami on the second rope. What is Cedric doing here? Cedric is putting in pressure against Sami Zayn, weakening the underdog from the underground, but may have been taken too long. Call red, shoulders down, and a kick out. Zayn on the attack, but Cedric Alexander fires back, sending Zayn into the corner. Zayn now, top rope. Bad intentions by Cedric Alexander. Alexander with Sami Zayn on the top rope. This looks bad. Here we go. Plants him down off the top. Into a cover. Hooks the leg. Isn't enough to put Sami Zayn away. And Zayn powers out at 2. Zayn now looking to bring down Cedric Alexander. Alexander fires back. Push Zayn again. Oh, what a neck breaker by Alexander. If you see it from the side of Cedric Alexander, this is an insane opportunity as Sami hits the brainbuster. Because if Cedric could get the victory here, he could also be considered for an opportunity at the Intercontinental Championship. Cedric now tossing Sami to the outside. Heads to the top rope. Oh, I thought I was going to go to the top rope, but once again, this is Cedric trying to pander to the WWE Universe. And I'm not sure this is working for him. You have to stay on top of your opponent, especially when your opponent is somebody like Sami Zayn who will plant you down on the drop of a hat like that. Here's Zayn. Blue Thunder Bomb of the Blue Thunder. Shoulders down. Is it enough to put him away? Alexander powers out at 2. Both men back to his feet, trading shots. Alexander in a bad position in the corner as Zayn takes a step back. Helluva kick! Off the Helluva kick, hooks the inside leg. Zayn gets another victory.
Here is your winner, Sami Zayn!
Chalk it up to another victory for Sami Zayn as he waits for what he thinks it's due to him, a shot at the Intercontinental Championship. Well, still to come tonight, Stratus faction is guaranteed on Smackdown. After a successful performance on the Royal Rumble, Trish Stratus will join us live here on Friday nights. And of course, we already know DIY moved on one side of the bracket. We're jumping to the other side, Mustache Mountain against Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. Our main event, the Dusty Classic, rolls on SmackDown. And we are back live on SmackDown. Here comes the Hall of Famer, Trish Stratus. 7-time Women's Champion, WWE Hall of Famer, a pioneer of the women's evolution. Made a surprising return by appearing on the Women's Royal Rumble a couple of weeks ago. She came in at number 2, Sasha Banks came in at number 1. And in a very surprising turn of events, Sasha Banks very quickly eliminated Trish Stratus from the Royal Rumble. Nonetheless, tonight we're in Toronto and Trish Stratus wanted to address her hometown crowd.
A lot of things have changed since I've been gone, for sure. I mean, when I retired as a 7-time WWE Women's Champion right here in Toronto, sharpshooter right in the middle of this ring. When I took my place in the WWE Hall of Fame, I would have never imagined that we're only a couple months away from the first ever all-women's pay-per-view WWE Evolution. I have been dreaming of one more match.
Well, I believe it's boss time! A very interesting moment here on SmackDown. Trish Stratus saying that she's not gonna lie, she wants one more match, which prompts out the woman who eliminated her at the Royal Rumble, Sasha Banks. The former SmackDown Women's Champion took a lot of pride in tossing Trish Stratus over the top rope a couple of weeks ago at the Royal Rumble.
Listen here, I don't give a damn. I am the star of this women's division. I am the one that is cashing in the winner's check. And I am the one that is challenging you to a rematch. That is, unless you're man enough to accept your move, bitch.
Wow, short and precise. Sasha Banks challenges Trish to a match.
I have been dreaming of one more match.
Listen here, I don't give a damn. I am the star of this women's division. I am the one that is cashing in the winner's check. And I am the one that is challenging you to a rematch. That is, unless you're man enough to accept your move, bitch.
Well, and after that confrontation between Sasha Banks and Trish Stratus, it has been confirmed in less than 2 months. When we go to Vegas for WrestleMania, the legit boss, Sasha Banks, will go one-on-one against Trish Stratus, a first-time ever blockbuster at WrestleMania. And that's not all, because the Smackdown Women's Championship will be on the line between Becky Lynch and the Queen of Spades, Shayna Baszler. The winner of the Royal Rumble made her challenge, and as we saw earlier tonight, she's getting in the head of the Women's Champion ahead of WrestleMania. Back down here at ringside, Charlotte Flair set for action here tonight on SmackDown. Has been a... Whoa, wait a second! Hey! It's Nia Jax, and Nia Jax runs down Flair! We're gonna take a break and SmackDown rolls on! Well, we're back on SmackDown. Charlotte Flair and Nia Jax entangled in a brawl out here that has lasted throughout the entire break. And Flair is just trying to defend herself, trying to fend off Nia Jax, who jumped the guardrail from the crowd and attack her. Oh, good grief. And Jax with a choke slam, putting Flair through the table. Good grief. Let's take a look at that one more time. Take a look at this. First it was Nia Jax jumping the guardrail, running down Charlotte Flair, attacking her center of the ring. We went to break, we come back, they're still fighting, and the chokeslam right through our table. Nia Jax has once again laid out Charlotte Flair. We're back live on SmackDown, and here comes the extraordinary man who can do extraordinary things, Mr. Money in the Bank.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Bray, County Wicklow, Ireland. Weighing in.
Hold on a second, there's a shadow running up behind Finn Balor, and it's Kyle O'Reilly. The Undisputed Era's Kyle O'Reilly. Remember, O'Reilly took on Finn Balor last week here on SmackDown after the Undisputed Era came for Finn Balor, trying to undermine his legitimacy as Mr. Money in the Bank. Well, certainly O'Reilly very mad about how things ended up last week here on SmackDown. Last week, Finn Balor scored a victory, perhaps a victory that Kyle O'Reilly is not okay with. Remember, it was a small package. And O'Reilly certainly fought it with the official. The official said the decision was final, and now we're seeing the result here. O'Reilly lugging in the submission maneuver on Finn Balor on top of the stage. And the two trading shots atop the stage. Now that's cold hard concrete up there as O'Reilly hooks him in for the suplex. We're going to try to get this situation under control as SmackDown rolls on. And we're back live. Certainly an interesting and historic night here in Toronto, as we found out that Trish Stratus will go one-on-one against Sasha Banks at WrestleMania. And next week, we have a huge main event planned for you guys. It'll be Randy Orton, Adam Cole, Finn Balor, and Daniel Bryan in a fatal 4-way elimination match. The winner earns a WWE Championship match at Fastlane. And that's not all, because also next week, the Dusty Classic continues when the Undisputed Era goes one-on-one against Mustafa Ali and Cedric Alexander. Dusty Classic continues next week, and in our main event coming up next, it's main event time here in Toronto, and all the way from across the pond, Mustache Mountain, ready for the Dusty Classic.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. On the way to the ring, at a combined weight of 391 pounds, Trent Seven and Tyler Bate, Mustache Mountain.
Well, last week we saw DIY move on to the semifinals of the Dusty Classic. Now we jump to the other side of the bracket. Trent Seven, Tyler Bate, Mustache Mountain, former NXT Tag Team Champions, take on another set of former NXT Tag Team Champions, Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan. Of course, we know the Dusty Classic will continue to run weekly to SmackDown all the way through Fastlane, where we will see the finals of the Dusty Classic, with the winners earning an opportunity at the WWE Tag Team Championships at WrestleMania in less than 2 months. Of course, somebody has to be watching this match very closely. The Usos, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, or should I say the WWE Tag Team Champions, watching this match closely as we try to determine their number one contender for the granddaddy of them all. It's main event time. Mustache Mountain, Danny Burch, Oney Lorcan, coming up next on SmackDown. We're back live on SmackDown. This is our main event. There you see the team of Burch and Lorcan against the team of Seven and Bate. There's the bear. Here we go. Seven into the single leg Boston Crab. Submission maneuver locked in. Pulling out the leg of Oney Lorcan. Lorcan pushes him off. Lorcan and Burch, no stranger to tag team goals themselves. They have been former NXT Tag Team Champions, same as Mustache Mountain. But the key about it is that while both of these teams held Tag Team Gold over on the Black and Gold brand, they have not done so here on SmackDown. And to get an opportunity at the grandest stage of the ball at WrestleMania 37 when we head to Las Vegas in less than 2 months, that could be a huge moment for any of these teams. And look at this. Look at the teamwork of Mustache Mountain. Bate bridges and a cover and a quick kick out. The athleticism of Tyler Bate is unmatched. Take a look at that. Standing moonsault. Kick to the plexus by Bate. Submission maneuver locked in. For a German suplex, and Oney Lorcan showing us what he's all about as he hits the submission maneuver, but it was way too close to the ropes. He has to break it. Lorcan hooks him in again. Northern Light suplex. He doesn't follow it with the cover. Here's Lorcan picking him up one more time. And look at the way Lorcan can pick up the weight of Tyler Bate. That's no easy feat. Elbow drop across the back by Lorcan. Pulling on Bate to the center of the ring for a cover. Hooks the leg. Is it enough to advance to the semifinals of the Dusty Classic? On SmackDown, and a kick out by Bate. This isn't going to be an easy victory for any of these teams, and we saw a result of that last week when the Lucha House Party took on DIY. Lorcan getting once again into the headlock, this time nowhere near the ropes. This time Tyler Bate has to figure out a way to get out of it himself. He seems to be doing so. Elbows to the gut of Lorcan. Get Tyler Bate out of the submission maneuver. Bate now sending Oney Lorcan over the top rope on the apron. Hooks him in. Suplex back into the ring. Bad decision here. Tyler Bate was perhaps going to go to the top rope, but that allowed Lorcan to go to the corner for the tag. Here comes Danny Burch, who hits the powerbomb into a cover that could be enough to put Bate away. Bate powers out of 2. Another kick by Burch and another powerbomb, this time no cover. Great reversal here by Tyler Bate, who may need to tag out of this match. He's taking a lot of punishment here. There's the suplex, bringing Burch back into the ring. Burch is in the wrong seat code here. He gets deposited in the corner. Tag is made. Here comes Trent 7 into the ropes. Drop toe hold. Elbow drop across the back. And now Bate looking to capitalize. Plants him down center of the ring. Hooks the leg and a kick out. Orton wants a tagging. He gets it. Tyler Bate says, no, not in my house. No one's gonna make a comeback here. Tyler Bate now heads to the top rope, looking to land down. Beautiful splash by Tyler Bate. Hooks both legs. Isn't enough to put him away. And a kick out at 2. Tag is made. Here comes Burch. Into the ropes. Double back body drop, and 7 is in trouble. Forearm shot to the face of Burch, but Burch doesn't let 7 take any advantage. Clothesline, he goes down. 7 with a neck breaker. Back and forth we go here in the Dusty Classic. This is for an opportunity at the WWE Tag Team Championships. Tag is made. Here comes Tyler Bate. Here we go. Back into another assisted powerbomb. Bate now heads to the top rope. Lands down across the chest. Follows it up with a cover. Hooks the leg. Isn't enough to advance and a kick out. Great reversal there by Danny Burch. And back and forth we go. Another shot by Tyler Bate. Schoolboy, shoulders down. Isn't enough to put him away. And a kick out at 2. And now Bate in a bad position. He's in the corner at the mercy of Danny Burch, but he blocks him. Burch, though, kicks him back into plexus. Goes for a drop kick. Bate blocks it. Back and forth we go. Battle of reversals here as they keep reversing each other. And Bate has Burch perched up on the ropes. Clothesline over the top rope. He goes, lands down at ringside. And Bate, about to take it for a ride, takes the ropes. Uppercut hero. Beautiful. Too bad that Bate could not capitalize off of that high-risk maneuver to the outside. He needs to stay on top of Danny Burch here. And look at this! Tiger Driver! 97! Shoulders down! Isn't enough to put him away! And Burch breaks up the cover! And there's 7 with a clothesline to take down Burch! Shoulders down! Hooks the leg! Isn't enough! And a kick out at 2! An absolutely incredible main event tonight we're seeing here on Smackdown. This is only the first round of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. And here comes Burch off the corner with a huge elbow shot to the face. Uppercut by Burch. Over the third rope goes Tyler Bate right to the outside. What is Bate thinking about here? Bate hooks him in. Oh, brother. Suplex to the outside. Incredible suplex to the outside. You gotta rethink your strategy here as Tyler Bate cannot capitalize on these big moves. He finds himself on the outside of the ring. on the defensive again, trying to create separation between himself and Danny Burch. And Bate now going for a dropkick off the top. That doesn't work. There's a reversal. And Burch just keeps insisting on sending Tyler Bate to the outside. What's that all about? Modified STO on the outside of the ring, and certainly that's going to hurt more outside than it does inside. And Trent Seven, he's there for the save. He plants down Danny Burch on the outside. Burch bounces off the apron. There's the backbreaker. Count of 6 here, and Burch returns Tyler Bate into the ring. Great reversal there by Tyler Bate. Tyler needs to tag out of this match, I'll say that. That's exactly what he does. Tag is made. Here comes 7. Tag team maneuver by Mustache Mountain. Kick to the plexus, hooks him in, plants him down into a cover, shoulders on the mat. Isn't enough to put him away, and a kick out at 2. Back and forth we go. Shoulders down, isn't enough, and a kick out. Oh my goodness! Trent Seven with an emphatic maneuver planting down. Danny Burch into the cover, hooks the leg, got him! Mustache Mountain moves on.
Here are your winners, Trent Seven and Tyler Bate, Mustache Mountain.
An incredible main event as Mustache Mountain moves on to the semifinals. We thank you so much for joining us. Good night from Toronto.